What's going on, everybody? Brian here from Brian's Broadcast. I hope all of you are doing fantastic. Today I'm going to review a wonderful attar from the house of Maison Anthony Marmin. Name of the attar is Le Corsaire. As per the owner himself, this is the most animalic attar in his store, at least until now in 2024. Now, this particular attar has a lot going on. It's sophisticated, it's complex, and let me tell you one thing before I even proceed. When you apply Le Corsaire, it's very potent. Do not smell where you applied. Let's say you applied here. Do not smell it directly off the skin, like, don't do that. That's gonna leave a very bad taste in your mouth because, again, remember, the owner himself did say that this is one of the most animalic attars in his collection. Let me first tell you about the notes on the website, and I'm gonna tell you what I felt when I applied this attar and used it over the several days. Now, of course, on the top you have fresh oceanic ambergris and seawater. On the mids you've got leather and earthy notes, and on the base you've got Indian oud. Now guys, those of you who are familiar with oud or those of you who are not, Indian oud or Hindi oud is known for its characteristic animalic vibes, or like almost like that fickle kind of smell. But let me tell you something. You're not supposed to smell everything off the skin directly, because remember, when you apply a fragrance, attar or spray, whatever it is, you smell it in the air. Le Corsaire is one of those attars or fragrances that you do not smell off the skin. That's when you will get a very bad kind of vibe, and it's probably gonna leave a very bad taste in your mouth. You're probably gonna have a very bad experience. So you smell it in the air. When you first apply Le Corsaire, what you're gonna experience is a lot of salty water kind of vibe. Like it's watery, but it's salty, just like the actual seawater. And the ambergris, the oceanic ambergris over here, because it uses the authentic ambergris, it's the salty one. So you do not get that very dirty, very fickle, animalic kind of thing, but what you get is like almost like a salty, leathery kind of vibe. Imagine the sides of the ship. You've got some leather that's consistently soaked up in the salty sea water. It's drying in the sun, under the influence of the sun, and throughout the day it's getting wet again. Kind of like that. You almost feel that salty water taste in your mouth. So you do feel that saltiness in that fragrance in such a way that it almost feels like as if you have a taste of that inside your mouth. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a very nice and soothing fragrance, let me tell you that. But the sophistication starts once this attar starts opening up. Now, the animalic tone, like almost like that fickle kind of tone, it stays almost like 15 to 20 minutes on an average, give or take, at least on my skin. Could be different on your skin too. Let me know in the comments if you've tried this one and what's your experience. But at least on my skin, for 15 to 20 minutes, you kind of get that very dirty animalic kind of tone to it. And then it's gone. Later down the line, you still feel that salty, leathery vibe. There are earthy notes, which is almost like damp, yet not like in a bad way. In a damp, salty way, the earthiness comes through in like a dark way, so it's slightly dark. And as the fragrance is drying down, that's where you will feel the presence of Indian oud. Now, the Indian oud is, again, it's gonna live throughout the fragrance. The animalic vibe stays, but in the air, this smells very much different. It has this nice, woody, leathery, and salty kind of vibe, which in my opinion is a beautiful thing. I asked in one of the short videos that I had posted, like, how could I be saying that an attar that's very animalic smells very nice? And that reason is you don't smell it right away from the skin directly. You are smelling this thing in the air, and in the air, Le Corsaire smells very nice, sophisticated. I would say this is way more masculine leaning, and it has that really deep, woody, earthy notes, which enhances the depth, almost like a 3D effect. and you know, like it enhances the characteristic of this whole attar as it dries down. This is a beautiful creation, I must say, although very animalic. If you do enjoy animalic attars, this is something worth trying out. I personally was really shocked because I'm not used to too much animalic notes. So I just took my chance because, again, this has authentic ambergris, and of course, Maison Anthony Marmin house, they always produce some of the finest and authentic creations. So I was really happy to try this one. The thing that attracted me most was the usage of ambergris. Remember how I loved and thoroughly loved Sheikh Al Furansi because it has authentic ambergris. It's a whole different dimension. But over here, the ambergris, it's more on the salty side. It's more on the clean, salty side that gives you the vibe of the ocean, like real, open, wild ocean. Like you don't know where you're headed. You just have a whole different feeling from this attar. Guys, that was my take on Le Corsaire from the house of Maison Anthony Marmin. And again, this is not a sponsored content. Your subscription to my channel, your thumbs up, your likes, your comments, everything matters and helps my channel a lot. I would really appreciate if you're not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button if you like contents like these. And until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and all the best.